Hello, welcome to Relationship Matters. And today I'm having my husband in the studio.
All right.
Yes, our house studio.
In the studio. studio.
Yes, so today we are taking the last segment in the series for the month on finding the perfect match. And we have looked at the first series the first edition was on how you yourself should work towards perfection. For you to be able to attract the right person. We looked at what are your non-negotiables. You must have them in place so that you can establish purpose before affection. And then we looked at some skills you need to have, like spiritual skills. You need to be sensitive, and then communication skills. Some people have found the person God has given go ahead, but they're not fit talk.
And that's another problem.
Until the person brings their wedding card.
Then you don't talk.
So you now need communication skills. So if you missed those videos, check the description of this video. You get the link to them. Today we are making it more practical. We want to have my husband to tell us how his journey was in finding
All right, when you talk about a perfect match, which of course you are, perfect match, you talk about you yourself, working on yourself to get the best version of yourself, what you want to see in the life of your intended spouse. Okay, all right. So that my own, and that still stands as my non-negotiable, is the fear of God, the love of God, expressed through action. Because I don't know, man sees from the outward appearance. It's God that sees from the heart. So it's what you are doing. You may say that I have fear of God. How do you know who has fear of God? It's what I see with my eye. See your commitment. How are you committed to things of God? How do you relate with other persons that are not even your spouse, your friends? How do you relate? Do something that looks sinful? Does it appear sinful to you? Or you feel that you can do anything to get something? Because for instance, anybody that lied for you will lie against you. Anybody that lied for you will lie against you. So if you are in a process and you have a challenge or something was going on and somebody was able to lie to protect you, just rest assured the person will lie against you someday. All right, so the fear of God talks about you saying no to things that are evil, to things that God does not approve, things that the scripture does not approve. So I kept on looking at all those things. So the love of God, when I was searching for my wife, then I saw her commitment. Of course, I got attracted. We must not remove that one. That attraction of the first appearance, okay, this person is presentable, but that was not enough. We needed to go further. And the further now, we discover that it's somebody that has the fear of God, being committed to a service, to a fellowship. Okay, she graduated from a fellowship. She was serving in a fellowship. That I know that anybody that can be willing to take that kind of role must be somebody committed. So that was a good symbol. That was a good sign. That was a good signal to say that this person has the fear of God. I start following up and I discover that that is it.
Awesome. Yeah. So you had your non-negotiables, and so on your own part, how did you work on yourself to also ensure that you are the right person? Because you needed to also
work on myself. Yeah. You know, you talk about the fear of God. I started with that. I had every opportunity to deal with sisters negatively or the other. You see, not just like the woman with the issue of blood that suffered so many things in the hands of many doctors. That was how I passed through so many things in the hands of many sisters. But still, because of that negotiable character, I was still standing firm. So if I can be citing instances of example of so many things that were made me to bend or bend the scripture, but I was able to stand. And that shows that God is faithful. And at the end of the day, I can look unto God today and say boldly that God is faithful. But it wasn't my calculation. It wasn't me trying to decide. No.
So you see, on his part, he was looking out for somebody that fears God. Me too. I was looking out for somebody that fears God. Like I said, I think that should be our second video that says, I said, who not like better thing? So as you are looking, he was looking for. Me, I also was looking for. So somebody that fears God, and those were also my non-negotiables. So you see, work on yourself as you are looking for, the other person is looking for. So what was the role that God played? So after you placed these non-negotiables, was that just enough to conclude? So as you saw the person feared God, I feared God. That was just all. It didn't need to involve God.
The rule there is just take your step of faith and God will order your footstep. It's God ordering there, because all those steps, she is the seventh person. and all those steps I passed through the other 6 is because they are not the one.
Okay.
You have prayed and you have taken a step, so some decision they're taking, you may feel embarrassed, you may feel bad. That's why sometimes people cry for certain things after they're praying, they're crying for things. But if God can open their eyes, they will discover that God is the one ordering their footsteps. Yeah. He knows the end from the beginning, so he didn't want them to pass through some certain things. That's why he will not allow that prayer point to come to pass.
Wow. So in a nutshell, we are still rounding up with the scripture that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Stay blessed.